course will be real strong pathfinders for the rest of the riders to get a feel for this Ian Stark course.
Yeah, they truly will, and that sometimes lulls others into a false sense of security, and let's hope that doesn't happen, because Ian has set a tough track out there, had a wander round yesterday and another wander round today, and it's a seriously big course, and it is going to be one that is not going to be, I think, time achievable as it was last year. I think 14 inside the time last year, and Ian says they're not going to do that this year, that's for sure. And he's wheeled the tight lines, he's wheeled the corners, he's wheeled before they even strung, probably.
So Doug just got off to a bit of a tentative start from the centre line, and just looking a little bit cautious in this trot work. Probably like to see him attack it a bit more, just a bit crooked on the move off, a little bit cautious. Nice medium, and moving well and across. Owner bred, Doug's had this horse from a yearling, and he struggled to break the 30 barrier that is so important in a field of this type of quality, and you can see he's just a bit cautious with him. He doesn't quite dare to really move the horse forward. That said, Echo ratings have given him a 25% chance of making the podium. He is the highest rated horse in the field, which I was quite surprised to see, but that's his consistency at the top level. Top 10 in 14 of his 22 4 and 5-star starts. An incredibly experienced combination here. But we've seen, to win this competition, you have got to be in the top 5 after dressage. And he's got a real flashy extension, but you just feel you want to see them just take the whole test on a little bit more. Cover the ground, move a bit forward. The judges want to see them really attack this test. When you watch the likes of Piggy and those guys, when they really get those top marks, those 9s, 10s, even 8s, they're really taking the risk with the horses. They're really moving them forward, sweeping into the movements. But he just looks a little bit timid here today. So the walk, again, you want him to see them cover the ground. He's taking the bit forward. He's not that secure in the contact as he's moving. He's a little bit insecure on the bit.
Yeah, I think, you know, it'd be fair to say that at times Quantum Leap just looking a little bit fragile in the arena, and I think that's the reason that Doug's not really had the opportunity yet just to kick this horse forward into the bridle. You can see here getting a little bit fussy on the bit and not really taking it forward and away from him. Slightly sucking behind the vertical at times as well. More so there in the canter, beginning of the canter work, and there I think a good demonstration as he goes across on that diagonal line of just exactly what I meant about that, just crouching low rather than growing tall, sitting on those pistons, those hind legs, engaging that engine and travelling up and forwards.
Lovely change, really obedient. Doug doing an absolutely phenomenal job here, not losing any marks in terms of accuracy, and just really trying to contain and, where he can, just steal those marks. The thing about this horse is he's a cross-country machine, not a fault in his last 10 runs. 11 cross-country clears at the levels for Doug. But interestingly, because he looks like a very speedy horse, he's yet to make the time, but he just is so consistent at the level.
Watching Doug's hands here, you can see how quiet he's being, how low he's keeping his hand, and that is all to do with the way that this horse is feeling underneath him. In the first half pass, you saw on the third stride he jumped out of the bridle and came out into an open frame, and Doug's been really, really clever, and I can't tell you how clever he's being, because he is being an absolute maestro up there in the saddle, not allowing this horse to boil over and bubble up. There's I use the term the fine line and the few letters that change, the fine line though between expression and explosion, and that is highly demonstrated here. It's quite windy here in the main arena, and whether the wind's just got up Quantum Leap's tail or not, I don't know, but he is doing an incredible job in the tack.
He really is, and I mean, he sits so beautifully, Doug. Of course you'd expect him to, his mum being such an experienced judge and produced him. He's always looked so comfortable and natural in the dressage, and you can
Yeah,
see
just
here.
bouncing around on that hind leg round the corner. Doug again just taking his time.
That'll be expensive with the changing behind coming into that centre line. But what a brilliant ride by Doug in pretty difficult circumstances.
It was difficult circumstances, and what that test at 6 or 7 minutes would have felt like 14 or 15.
Or half an hour.
Or half an hour, because it was a lot of work mentally for Doug from the get-go, from the minute he came into this arena to the minute he halted, and he did do a good halt at the end. But this horse, I will guarantee you, could have exploded at any God-given point, and Doug rode this horse to an absolute masterclass in that arena. And if you want to see anybody riding a hot horse, watch him, because he got through that by hook or by crook, and there was no way he was allowing this
And it was
horse.
clear from the start, wasn't it? When he moved off from that first trot, he just sucked up underneath him and made it difficult. But then very expressive in the mediums and the extensions. That was a really lovely performance. We're waiting for Doug's collectives, and then we will give you his mark. Austin confirmed at 33.1, our Pathfinder.